Somewhere in your kitchen right now, there may be a food that will still be edible long after you are gone. You walk past it every day, and you have no idea it is basically immortal. But here's the twist. One of the most famous forever foods in America, the one people joke could survive the apocalypse, is quietly lying to you. Here is the truth this whole video is built on. A handful of pantry staples do not really expire the way we think they do. They change. They dry out. They lose flavor. They get ugly. But under the right conditions, they can outlast almost everything else in your kitchen. This is the weird part. Honey has been found edible after 3,000 years. Canned food from an 1865 shipwreck, tested clean more than a century later. Sealed white rice can hold its quality for 30 years. And the snack everyone swears is indestructible officially lasts about 45 days. So keep one eye near the top of this countdown. The most famous immortal snack of all does not deserve its reputation, and I will show you the exact moment it breaks. 4 quick words first, because they are the whole game. Safe means it should not make you sick. Edible means you can physically eat it. Nutritious means the vitamins are still there. And taste good. That is usually the one that fails first. A food can be perfectly safe and completely joyless. And one rule matters more than everything else. Unopened and sealed is everything. The second air and moisture get in. The clock starts. Let us count it down. Number 15. White rice. Strip the bran and germ off a grain of rice, and you remove the oils that go bad. What is left is mostly starch with almost no water for microbes to use. Sealed away from oxygen, white rice can hold its quality for around 30 years. Brown rice is different. That healthy bran layer still has oils, and those oils can go rancid in months. Hold on to that bran versus no bran idea, because it comes back later. White rice is not invincible though. Its biggest enemies are moisture and tiny rice weevils. Number 14. Cornstarch. Cornstarch is almost pure starch. No fat, no protein, barely any water. There is simply not much in it that can rot. Keep it bone dry, and it can last essentially indefinitely. Its real enemy is humidity. Once moisture gets in, that soft white powder can turn into a clumpy, moldy brick. Number 13. Dried beans. Dried beans can stay safe and edible for decades, but here is the weird part. Really old beans can become so hard that they may never fully soften, no matter how long you boil them. They are still technically food. They may still be safe, but they can turn dinner into a jaw workout. This is where the pantry starts teaching the real lesson. Safe and enjoyable are not the same thing. Number 12. Powdered milk. Take the water out of milk, and bacteria lose what they need to grow. Non-fat, dry milk can last for years when sealed properly, and sometimes much longer in ideal storage. But notice the word non-fat. Whole milk powder still contains fat, and fat slowly goes rancid. In the long storage game, the skinny version wins. Number 11. Bouillon cubes. Salt plus dehydration is one of the oldest preservation tricks humans ever used. Bouillon cubes have very little moisture and a lot of salt, which makes life difficult for bacteria. That is why they can last for years. The catch is flavor. The oils, herbs, and aromatics fade long before the cube becomes dangerous. It may still dissolve, but the soup may taste like a memory of soup. Number 10. Hardtack. Hardtack is flour and water baked until it is almost bone dry. Civil War soldiers hated it. They called it tooth duller. But that is exactly why pieces of hardtack from the 1800s still exist in museums today. The weakness was not always spoilage. It was the bugs. Weevils could burrow inside, and soldiers nicknamed it Worm Castle. So yes, Hardtack can survive time. Whether you would want to survive on it is a completely different question. Number 9. Distilled white vinegar. Distilled white vinegar is so acidic that almost nothing wants to live in it. It literally preserves other foods. On its own, it can last essentially indefinitely. Over time, it might turn a little cloudy or develop harmless sediment, but that does not mean it has gone bad. Vinegar is one of the rare pantry items that is less like food and more like a hostile environment for anything trying to spoil it. Number 8. Soy sauce. Soy sauce is fermented, salty, and dark, which gives it a serious preservation advantage. Unopened, it can resist spoilage for years. But soy sauce proves another important point. Survival is not the same as quality. Over time, the flavor fades, the aroma weakens, and the color can darken. It may still be safe, but it will not taste like the bottle you first opened. Number 7. Pure vanilla extract. Real vanilla extract has a beautiful preservation trick built in. It contains alcohol, and alcohol helps protect it. Pure vanilla extract can mellow and deepen over time, which is why it has a reputation for aging well. But the word pure matters. Imitation vanilla does not play by the same rules. Same smell, different chemistry, different clock. Number 6. Ghee. Ghee starts as butter, but then the water and milk solids are cooked off. What is left is mostly fat, and the parts that make regular butter spoil quickly have mostly been removed. That is why ghee can keep far longer than butter at room temperature, but it still has one weakness. It is fat. Light, heat, and oxygen will eventually push it toward rancidity. Ghee lasts a long time, but it is not eternal. Number 5. Canned food. This is where safe and nutritious split apart. When the steamboat Bertrand sank in 1865, its cargo of canned peaches, oysters, and vegetables sat underwater for more than a century. When some of that food was tested in 1974, it showed no microbial growth. That means it was still safe after 109 years. But the vitamins were a different story. Much of the vitamin C and vitamin A were gone. Safe and edible, yes. Nutritious and tasty, not so much. And one serious warning: if a can is bulging, leaking, badly rusted, or deeply dented near the seams, do not gamble with it. That usually means the seal may have failed. Number 4, and here is where the legend breaks: the Twinkie. The joke says Twinkies last forever. The reality is much less impressive. The official shelf life is about 45 days, and originally it was even shorter, around 26 days. No dairy cream, a sealed wrapper, and some preservatives help it outlast normal cake. But it is not immortal. One man famously bit into an 8-year-old Twinkie and found fungus growing inside. The most famous forever snack in America was never forever at all. Number 3. Sugar. Sugar survives because it grabs moisture and denies bacteria the water they need. It does not really spoil in the normal sense. It just hardens into a rock, especially if humidity gets in. Keep it dry and sealed, and sugar can last basically forever. But keep it near strong odors, and it can't absorb them. Nobody wants sugar that smells like onions, cleaning supplies, or the back of an old cabinet. Number 2. Salt. Honestly, salt may not even belong here because salt is a mineral. It does not rot. It does not go rancid. We mine it from deposits that are millions of years old. The salt itself is essentially eternal. The only things that really change are additives, like iodine and texture when moisture causes clumping. Salt is so good at surviving time that calling it long-lasting almost feels too small. Number 1. Honey. Honey gets the crown because it is not just long-lasting. It is actual food with one of the strongest natural preservation systems on Earth. Honey survives with a triple defense: very little water, natural acidity, and an enzyme bees add that can produce tiny amounts of hydrogen peroxide. Over time, it may crystallize, it may darken, the flavor may change, but properly sealed honey does not spoil the way most foods do. Its real weakness is the seal. Open it in a steamy kitchen or dip in a wet spoon, and the water and contamination you introduce are what can finally let it ferment. So is honey really number one? Here is where I hand it to you. Salt technically never spoils at all, but it is a mineral, not really food in the same way. Does that make salt the true champion, or does it not even belong on the list? I gave honey the crown. You might give it to salt. Tell me in the comments who actually deserves number one, and whether salt should even be allowed to compete. Either way, walk into your kitchen tonight and look again. Some of what is sitting on those shelves is not food with a deadline. It is food quietly waiting, maybe longer than any of us will.